We'd like to welcome the officials to today's game. These officials are certified by the Idaho High School Activities Association. These individuals have worked hard to learn the rules and apply them fairly. We request you respect their honest efforts in administering this contest. We'd also like to thank the Idaho Dairy Farmer Families and the Dairy West as the official sponsor of the Idaho High School Activities Association. Thank you, Dairy West. Tonight's game is being sponsored by Tina Richards Real Estate. Let Tina Richards.
Welcome to Donna Larson Field. I'm Blas Telerio with my partner, Jason Gordon. We have a classic matchup rivalry, if you can call it a rivalry. Capital Eagles have dominated the city. They've dominated Bora. They've dominated Timberline, and they have dominated the Boise Braves. So it's tough to call it a rivalry, but when it comes to inner-city sports and inner-city rivalries, Capital and Bora goes all the way back. The Boise Braves, the oldest school in the state. They bring in a team that has struggled to get wins, that has struggled to get points, but they are coming in playing their best football of the year and are on a winning streak. It's a winning streak of one, but it's a winning streak nonetheless, as they defeated inner-city rival the Timberline Timberwolves last week. They come in with a record of 1-7 versus the Capital Eagles, a perennial power, coming in at 5-3. They've qualified for state already. It's all about positioning, trying to figure out who they're going to play in the state playoffs in that first round. So the Capital Eagles are going against the Braves. So thank you for joining us. It has been a beautiful night for football. Jason,
I was looking over at the flag while the anthem was on. It's a beautiful, beautiful night. The trees around here are all starting to change colors.
Capital will be receiving the opening kickoff.
Thursday night, Friday morning, I was coming a little bit early, but we're excited here to be opportunity. Again, I think we've had a lot of fun this year already calling games. We're back by popular demand to have some fun with this. Boise High goes back a long way. Personally,
Hey, do you want us on the goal line for this first one? Yeah.
look up to him, still get an opportunity to see him once in a while.
Well, Lord forbid, I hope you weren't wearing red.
I
Even
was.
as a kid.
I'm not going to lie. I was.
No.
I grew up on the sidelines as a Boise Brave. I was in the dugout. I was on the sidelines at the football games. I was in the bleachers as a kid. Just my dad teaching there and coaching with a great group of guys and coaches. So it's exciting, you know, to kind of just think back on those times growing up.
Well, wearing red's one thing, wearing Kelly green would be another.
The green, no, thank you.
Well, the Boise Braves have won the toss. They've elected to defer to the second half. They'll be kicking off to the Capital Eagles. So, the Capital Eagles offense will take the field first. They are led by quarterback Ryan Hibbs, who's moved up the moved up the statistic charts since the beginning of the season. He was middle of the pack early, but has caught fire. He is second in the conference right now with yardage, with 2,110 yards and 17 touchdowns. At the same time, the Boise High defense will be taking the field first. They are currently ranked 9th out of a conference of 10. They have struggled to stop people from scoring, but what I will give the Boise Braves credit for is if you look at the conference standings and you look at the number of players that are in there for recorded tackles, the Boise Braves, they record a lot of tackles. So they're putting up a fight, they're showing some backbone. Here's the kickoff. Capital takes it from the 5, and it looks like they're going to take over at the 20-yard line. So it'll be interesting. The Boise Braves playing their best football right now, coming off a victory over rival Timberline, and the Capital Eagles, truthfully, robbed, now that we have seen the film, robbed of a play against Eagle that cost them the game personally. I'm biased. I'm going to go out.
We're both biased. We're both alumni.
I'm biased.
The last few games on offense kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not going to lie about it.
I will say, though, if we had review, it would have got overturned. Capital would have had a first down with a minute to go and would have punched a touchdown in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world. So here we go, and Ryan Hibbs right out of the gate takes it on a quarterback keeper for a gain of 12, and the Capital High offense is up and moving. I will say, as offense goes, there is not a Capital rusher in the top 25 in the conference standings. So I'm going to guess that the Capital try to establish a little bit of a run game today. Again, back to the run, 2 plays, 2 rushes. That rush goes nowhere. That was off to, that looks like number 3. Sammy. So Sammy goes nowhere on the run, 2nd and 10. Capital looking to air it out as a team in general. So with quarterback Ryan Hibbs, probably going to be looking, if you're new to the program, probably going to be looking for Blackham or Bender. I haven't seen if Bender was off the IR. He was injured last week. He's been injured for a few. Is he back? He is.
He's back.
I got a nod.
Yeah, he's back.
I got a nod from our coach in the booth. No gain on the play.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get started here. We're watching a few plays. We had a first down run, but here we are already. It's 3rd down and a long 10 on the first drive for the Eagles. See if they can connect here on a pass, I'd assume. Oh, he has him deep.
Has him, and that was Hawley. He had Hawley wide open.
Oh, boy.
But he just overthrew him. First pass of the night. First pass of the night for Hibbs. Overthrew him a little bit, and the offense doesn't look to be going anywhere. So it's 4th.
Oh, here they come.
Okay. They were looking to the sideline out with.
I think the 2 guys that were so open on that last play, they thought they wanted to take another stab at it. Holy smokes.
Well,
Boise comes out on top there on the first series, stopping Capital. Unfortunate for us that we couldn't get an opportunity there to march down the field, put 7 points on the board.
Well, the Boise defense, like I said, they're giving up 45 points a game, but they have a number of players that are in the statistics for wrapping up. So they show some basic fundamentals at staying home and wrapping up when they can. It might just be a size issue, but we're rotating over. We're headed to the offense. The Boise Braves. The Boise Braves offense ranks last in the conference at 16.3 and last in rushing with only 60 yards a game, but they have a pretty dominant pass package, averaging about 213 yards a game.
Yeah, I mean, I got a chance to watch a little bit of film here. Honestly, I think they have a pretty good receiver core. Number 5, number 6, number 10. Number 10, I really like. He's a big body kind of guy. He's going to have an opportunity to get the ball up, go up and get it against maybe some of our shorter corners. So I'm impressed with them. And Boning, number 3, the quarterback, he throws the ball pretty well. He's pretty mobile. I see him having the opportunity to roll out a little bit and create some time because he needs it against our D-line to have that opportunity to make some passes.
So Bonning's first pass gets batted away by Jackson Reed. In the second play of the game, he gets swallowed up by that D-line.
I'm going to say 55 there.
55 on our roster is Jace French. Jace French got there fast, got there early, and backs it up. I'm guessing a loss of 5 by the looks of it. So 3rd and 15 for the Boise Braves. That happened quick. The Capital defense looking around. A lot of black hats. And Bonning rolling out, rolling to the near side. He's got a man, and
I think he's out of bounds. Yeah,
no.
They called it incomplete.
Great catch.
That was a good throw, good catch. He's just a little bit out of bounds.
Just a little bit out. So it's 4th down and 15. The Boise Braves at their 16-yard line. I'm guessing they're going to punt this one away. Now, Boise High has not been very effective in football for a little while, but at soccer, they are dominant. So I'm going to guess that the Boise Brave kicking game, if they don't have a kicker,
They're solid. I'm not going to lie.
if they don't have a kicker that can kick a 63-yard field goal, I'm going to be disappointed.
Well, the guy kicking the ball off on kickoffs, he's putting it in the end zone half the time, so he definitely's got a leg on him.
Well, is it state soccer playoffs this week? Do they have their kicker this week?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I expect the Boise Braves kicking game to be phenomenal. So here they are. We got a flag on the play. Kind of waiting for the call. Discussing it. And it's going to go against the Braves, so they're going to back it up a few more yards.
So that's an illegal substitution, I guess, is the way that goes when the ref puts his arm across his chest like that. So somehow they might have an extra guy out there that came in and shouldn't have been, so they backed him up another bit.
Punting from the end zone. Here come the Eagles, but they do not get there. Kind of a line drive. And Jonah Blackham decides to let it go out of bounds. And I'm guessing it's going to be about the 45-yard line for the Capital Eagle offense. So it was short, it's quick. There's 9:37 left to go in the first quarter. Still tied, 0-0. And now we're getting back to some statistics here. The Capital Eagles offense, led again by Ryan Hibbs, and the passing game from Hibbs to Jonah Blackham for the most part. I'm going to go to Coach Stringer one more time. He's up here, our silent assassin as far as stats go. Do we have our tight end back?
No.
Okay, rules out.
Rules out one more week here.
Okay.
Concussion protocol.
Here we go. Hibbs with the keeper, and he's got room. Looking at about a 15, still on his feet.
Hey, we got almost 20 yards out of that.
Yeah, he broke a couple tackles from the 15 and got about 20 out to it. So here come the Eagles.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to try and predict the play there on that last one. I thought they were going to go deep, honestly, and make a big strike right off the get-go, but they ended up running the ball. Now it's a little bit tighter, but Boise doesn't run your typical defense coverages that you see. The two safeties that are back, they're going to be rolling downhill. The corner's going to be locked up in trips. I see a big opportunity tonight with Capital's deep ball threat to make some big plays tonight, and we'll see how that goes down.
Well, Hibbs takes a shot deep early, and he's got a man, and that's just pass and catch. Pass and catch, so I don't know if you're going to predict that play.
I know. I was kind of saying, like, I'm waiting for it because of what I saw on that third down, and then here we are. They ran it on the first one, but on the second play, they go deep.
Well, I'm no Nostradamus, but when I say when Capital's going to look to go from Hibbs to Blackham, that is exactly what happened for a touchdown of 32 yards. So the Capital Eagles, they strike quick. But special teams for Boise comes through and they block the extra point. Coach Tinker for the Capital Eagles will not be happy about that. I'm sure they'll have a discussion here shortly, maybe after kickoff. But with 9:08 in the first quarter, the Capital Eagles on their second series are up 6-0 on the Boise Braves. So the Capital offense, while we've got a break here, the Capital offense currently 6th in the conference overall, averaging 32 points a game, are 2nd in the conference in passing overall with 264 yards a game, and are 8th in the conference at 137 yards rushing. So, generally speaking, the Capital Eagles will look to go to the air. But maybe not tonight. Maybe if they're going to establish a run game, tonight's the night to do it. But here we go. The Capital special teams looking to kick off. The Boise Braves bringing out their special teams, hoping for a big return. Second series for the Braves. So here's some names for the Boise offense, starting with their quarterback. His name is Bonning. So Carson Bonning. He is 8th in the conference in passing. He has 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns. He does have 13 interceptions. From what I can see, though, from the statistics, he's a 6'4" kid, 190 pounds, pretty put together. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's probably more of an O-line question than a quarterback question. But here we go.
Yeah, nice tackle right there by Jackson Reed on kickoff. He flew down, made a nice tackle.
The kick went to about the 5-yard line and ran back out by Boise High's number 2. That's Blake Hughes. Blake Hughes gets Boise out to the 20-yard line. With 9:04 left to go in the first quarter, the Boise Braves trailing 6-0. If the Boise Braves are going to go to the air, they're going to be looking for I'm going to get at some numbers here.
I like number 10.
Carson Jones.
Yeah. Is that who 10 is?
No, 10 is Cole Alton.
Alton, I like him. We're gonna see some short passes to him, but they got a good receiving crew. I'm pretty impressed. And number 6, yeah, I think he's the one with a little bit of the wheels, and he's the one that'll catch those deep balls.
So Cole Allen, he is one of the conference leaders in receiving. He has 33 catches, 385 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The other receiver, Carson Jones, he is the leading receiver, 10th in the conference, 29 receptions, 450 yards, and 3 touchdowns as well. So,
yeah, as you were just giving off some stats there, they threw a little screen to number 10, who's Alton. God, he got 12, maybe 10 yards on that play right there. He's a big boy. Hard to get him down.
So that's a first down for the Boise Braves. Their first down of the night. Here they go. They're going to the ground game. I see a quick flag. It's usually a little bit of holding there.
They didn't blow the whistle immediately like an illegal procedure, false start scenario, but maybe somebody wasn't lined up right. Wasn't enough man on the line of scrimmage.
So with no men on the line of scrimmage, it's a penalty. It's going to back it up.
Yeah, 1st and 15. Not the way they want to start off first down.
So when I'm looking at statistics here with conference leaders, and it's really unusual, but there are no Boise Braves on this list of the top 25, and there are no Capital Eagles in the top 25. Neither team can produce a rusher, so it seems. But the Boise Braves, on their last play, it went nowhere and occurred a penalty. So here they go. 1st and 15.
Oh boy, they got
rolling back, pressure, scrambling. He gets out. There is no one there. And the pass is deflected by number 7 for the Capital Eagles. And that's Cooper Leaf, who leads the Capital Eagles in interceptions.
Yeah, Capital rolled down a safety there and brought him down into the curl to the trips, and I immediately saw the 4 vert, and the middle of the field had an opportunity for a big strike. Capital got away with one there. Boise's got trips down low again. Capital is mostly in a 0 here. I think they're bringing pressure this time on 2nd down and long.
And he was under pressure, and he got it away, but he's got a man, and he caught it. And that is number 6, Carson Jones, with a gain of about 30. So the Boise Braves with back-to-back first downs. And I got to say, what a throw by Carson Boning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was a scenario where Capital was in 0. They were in man coverage and mano-a-mano, and he made a great play right there. We got to make sure that we win those battles.
So the Boise Braves across midfield. The Boise Braves back to the run game. That's twice now. We've gone to Andrew Berge. So Andrew Berge with 2 rushes, 1 yard. So the Boise Braves will have 2nd and 9, 7:20, clock running, trailing the Capital Eagles 6-0. The Capital defense, mostly black hats, still a couple golds out there, mostly Gurkhas.
Yeah, they'll get there. They'll get there going into the playoffs. It looks like we're still coming down, playing a cover 3 look on that situation. They want to get another guy in the box.
And Bonning hands it off again to Andrew Berge, who goes up the middle for a gain of about 2. So 3rd down and about 6 for the Boise Braves. Threatening. They are past midfield. right about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Capital's going to drop back here. 3rd down and long. Too high look. See if they can get some pressure with the 4 rushing. That Joey Q put some pressure there, throwing the ball up.
And Bonning saw it and got it away. He knew
Yeah.
where his guy was going to go. He put it up there. And that will be a 4th down. 4th down and 7. And Bonning, he's coming off the field. Oh, he's just coming to the sideline to get to the play.
Why not?
So
Why
here
not?
we go. Why not? When you're
Let's go
1
for
and
it.
8 against a rival.
Yeah,
Because this officially would be the last game for the Boise Braves, so you might see trick plays. We might see 4th downs where
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect it.
Sell out.
And it's senior night, and it's homecoming. So the Boise Braves, they might just throw the entire kitchen sink. Bonning, no pressure. He steps up into the pocket. Great play. And a great defensive play by 2 Capital Eagles.
That was Larson right there. Made a great play. Guy got the hands on the ball, but he was right there to knock it down. That's what you practice with. Even though a guy might get his hands on the ball, you can still rip it out.
So
Now, Capital
Cade
takes
Larson with
over.
the knockdown.
Yep. That's a big deal right there.
So the Capital Eagles, they take over with 6:20 to go, taking over on a turnover of downs on their own 40-yard line. Ryan Hibbs back in shotgun. Capital with some motion. Hibbs drops back looking to strike deep, and they've got a man, and it's Blackham again, and oh, right at the end, it got tipped away by the Boise Brave, number 33, Zeke Gilbert. What a great play, because if Zeke Gilbert doesn't get his hand on that, that was another big touchdown for the Capital Eagles.
Yeah, Boise High. Yeah, Boise High is just their defense. They're kind of selling out. If you watch the 2 inside backers, they're going to be rushing 4 with 2 safeties high, or they're going to bring those 2 backers. They're just flying around, doing all kinds of things. So if we can kind of take opportunity of when Boise brings pressure with the 2 backers, they tend to fill and roll downhill with their safeties, and that really exposes them for that deep ball. And I think Capital knows that. We're going to see shot after shot after shot on deep balls. We got 2 big routes that I know that we really work on a lot, and that's one of them's the post corner, and the other one's the post down the middle. And so we'll see a little bit of that tonight.
Well, on the last play, that was Alec Weber for a gain of about 7 on the fly sweep. Capital goes back to the ground game. They pick up 3 yards and get the 1st down. So the Capital Eagles pass midfield and are now into the Boise Brave territory at about the 48-yard line. Looking to the sideline, trips to the near side. Hibbs in the shotgun. And that's Jonesy up the middle.
I love Jonesy. I like seeing those legs run fast. He's a good-looking kid when he's out there running hard. A little shout-out to Alec Weber. He hasn't got a lot of reps yet this season, I think. He's kind of been in that backup quarterback role, and now he's getting some reps on offense. Been really excited. Oh, they throw the flag on that. That kind of came in late. A little grab there at the end to see if Blackham could get away and get that separation for that ball, that deep ball, but unfortunately the Braves get the flag.
Well, that was another one of the deep shots that you were talking about from Hibbs looking for Blackham. They went trips to the near side and left Blackham solo on the far side,
they
and
did.
so it sucked the safeties over, and it kind of gives that one-on-one coverage that Coach Simmons wants to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I was looking at their coverages a little bit. Every time Capital's in trips, when they got 3 receivers to his side, their corner immediately is just kind of locking up on the number 1, which is the furthest receiver outside to the sideline. And then they're playing zone there. But on the backside, all by himself, is a man-on-man scenario. And we think we're going to win that battle with Blackham against whoever they put against us. Sure like to see him get some big catches today and get his confidence up going into the playoffs.
Well, in the last game against the Eagle Mustangs, he was on the back end of those receptions.
I know.
That one was a catch. 2 was perhaps a pass interference.
Nice run.
And here is Picard, number 22 in a black hat.
He is.
That is Picard, Hayden Picard, with a run of 27 yards around the edge for a touchdown for the Capital Eagles.
I like that play. It's just kind of like he's that wing back over there, and it's a kind of just a quick toss over there, and he got some speed around the corner, got around those guys and made a nice move at the very end of that run to actually get into the end zone. That's always an awesome feeling when you actually make it in and you're that close.
And that kick is good. So the first one was blocked. The second one is good. And so with 5:04 left in the first quarter, it's the Capital Eagles 13, the Boise Braves 0. So special teams comes through for the Capital Eagles there. So the Boise Braves looking for some momentum here. They had a couple of first downs. The Boise Braves went to the ground game, not really known for it looking at the stats, but either is Capital for that matter. And they just scored a rushing touchdown. So maybe the Boise Braves aren't afraid to go to the ground tonight either. But if they're going to put points on the board, it's going to start with their quarterback, Carson Bonning.
Yeah, I expect him to be throwing the ball here. He's going to have probably 40 pass attempts tonight at least, and they're just going to have fun throwing the ball around and look for those big plays to get them back in the game. But at this point right now, they're going to need to do that quickly with 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Well, how lucky is our audience? Because every time they throw the ball and it's incomplete, the clock stops, so our audience gets you and me for a little bit more
A little
tonight.
bit longer.
A little bit longer tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll be watching to see how long it takes, I guess.
So the Capital Eagles, they kick off. It looks like it'll be fielded at the 5-yard line. There's a little bit of a wall there, but Hayden Picard scores a touchdown and picks up the first tackle after the kickoff. So Hayden Picard, with his name being called out quite a few times early in this game.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential next year to really be one of the leaders on this defense. Only a junior this year, being a black hat already this year. Going into next year, I think Coach Banks there, the DB coach, is really going to be looking to him to pick up some of the complexities there. I coach DBs, and having a senior, having someone that's had a lot of time on defense is almost invaluable with all the different reactions that you have to do so quickly.
So the Boise Braves go back to the ground game. It doesn't look like it goes anywhere. The Capital Eagles looking to strip the ball, but they don't get it. That's tackled by number 18 for the Capital Eagles. That's Jake Walk. Jake Walk is third on in the conference. The Capital Eagles defense still is number 1, 2, and 3 conference leaders when it comes to sacks.
Yeah, I know. 8, I think.
Well, Joey Q is leading the way with sacks with 2. And then you have Rudy Dye. And Hayden Picard doing a receiver drill, trying to intercept the ball and keep his feet in bounds. So 3 out of the last 4 plays, it's been Hayden Picard. On defense twice and offense once.
Yeah, Bonning's having a hard time here with getting some time to be able to throw the ball. They need to get him to roll out a little bit. They got trips up top. Maybe they can get him out some time. Get that running back in there to take on that first guy that gets past the line of scrimmage. He just doesn't have time to plant and throw the ball a little bit.
Well, he does roll out under pressure. Gets it away. And he looks like he got a man.
I think he got first down right there. Nice play by the Braves.
Yeah, Charlie Hastrider with the pressure. But he got it away. Bonning gets it away, and it's a first down for the Boise Braves. And you're right. They gave him a little bit of time, and it looks like the kid has enough arm to find a guy and move the chains. So here come the Boise Braves again. Splits out to 2 sides.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out Capital's coverage here. It's almost like they're playing a split coverage to the wide side of the field. 1 safety high. You know, and I was thinking about this. You know, you go into this game, and if you get up on top, you maybe want to try some new things, and you don't want to really give away to your opponent the next week. You know, when they get filmed to try and, you know, prep for you. So I'm kind of seeing a little bit of differences here in our defense that we've played the last several games with. They've got a lot of more guys down on the hash and definitely up into the box.
And there we go again, and Bonning comes out, and it's a great catch. Did they give it to him?
I think he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds.
Yeah.
So the Boise Braves have ran a couple of great routes, made a couple of great catches, but They're catching it just slightly out of bounds, and so it's 3rd down and 7 yards to go for the Boise Braves. Now, I do find it interesting that of all the sides that they're going to, generally speaking at this time of year, when you look at the Capital defense, there's a lot of Gurkha black hats out there. Shouldn't you be looking for the gold? And this is where they go, a little screen pass, and Joey Q just barely missed a pick 6.
Yeah, I was just about to say how he read that so well, and he just kind of made a little drop there, and I bet you he got his fingertips on that ball. But anyway, no gain on the play, 4th down. Boise brings out the punt team. Another opportunity for Capital.
Well, the Braves punting it away.
See if they get after it a little bit here. Maybe they want to try and get that block punt. It's always a goal you set with special teams. Looks like we got some guys ready to get off the ball.
So the Capital Eagles send everybody, and they got it.
Yeah.
They got it.
Yeah, that, you know, you kind of just get that feeling sometimes when you're actually, you know, watching those players on special team, punt team, you know, like safe, safe, safe. We're just going to make sure we get off the field and get our offense on the field. That time I just got that feeling, nah, we're going to get after it. We're going to go after these guys, and we got it.
Well, I'll go on a limb and say it might not be the last special teams play that we see by the Capital Eagles tonight. So, with a turnover, and I will say this is one of the statistics about the Boise Braves that is not the statistic you want to brag about. They do lead the conference in turnovers. Trying to find my stats here, but in the meantime, the Capital Eagles are marching down. That's Hibbs to Blackham on the far side. So, turnovers. Yeah, the Boise Braves, they lead the conference in turnovers at the moment with 20 turnovers, with only 12 forced. So not only do they lead the conference in turnovers, they also lead the conference in the worst turnover margin. So this turnover might be costly as the Capital Eagles are looking to score and score quickly. With 2:24 left to go in the first quarter, flag on the play. The Capital Eagles go to the ground. That was Sammy SD on that one. And it's a false start. So the Capital Eagles will be backing it up. So 2:20 to go. Capital threatening to put more points on the board. The Capital Eagles already locked up for playoffs. Sitting at 5-3 overall in a 3-way tie. So tonight's playoff implications, we'll talk about that when we get a break.
I got lost. I think I was reading the paper a little bit today, and the scenarios and the swings of what place someone could be in was astronomical.
You must have been reading the Idaho Press Tribune, because the Idaho Statesman, they weren't really breaking it down for us. Or maybe they were. I was out of free articles for the month.
I was reading it online at the Idaho Statesman.
Okay,
and there was that swing of 2nd to 8th. I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Well, the Idaho Statesman needs to give me a press pass. As a proud member of the press now,
yeah,
they need to give me a free press pass to read as many articles as I want. The Capital Eagles back up to the middle. Sammy SD. It does not go very far.
Yeah, I mean, 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal right now. We need to make something happen right now.
3rd and goal with 1:20 left. The Capital Eagles looking to the sideline. In comes Alec Weber running all the way to the far side here. Hibbs in the shotgun. Sammy D in the backfield as running back. Yeah. Hibbs, quick throwback out to the flat to number 2, Hawley. And Hawley gets taken down at about the 8-yard line. So a gain of about 5, but still short. So 4th down. Under a minute to go in the first. The Capital Eagles threatening. It doesn't look like they're going to bring on the field the goal unit.
I probably would have here, get some practice in, but you know, I'm not coach.
Well, Coach Simmons sending the play in.
Yeah, I think he's calling timeout here, and he might talk about it for a second, but maybe they are going to kick it now.
Well, they ran the clock down to about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So we'll figure out here shortly if the Capital Eagles are going to try to kick the field goal or if they're going to try to go for it with 4th down from about the 8-yard line. So the Capital Eagles already locked up in the playoffs in a 3-way tie with the Eagle Mustangs and the Bora Lions. Capital defeated the Bora Lions. The Bora Lions defeated the Eagle Mustangs. And then the Eagle Mustangs defeated the Capital Eagles. So we've got a 3-way tie right there. However, some teams have a little more meat on their plate tonight than the others.
Yeah, Bora, yeah.
Bora, absolutely.
Playing Rocky.
Playing the undefeated Rocky Mountain Grizz.
Yeah, I just got a score update, too, on that. Bora's down 14-7 to Rocky right now.
So the Bora
After
Lions,
the first quarter.
1 quarter in, trailing the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies, who have locked up not only the playoff spot, but Rocky Mountain has also locked up a quarterfinal spot because of that. The Capital Eagles came out, and they went for it, but
Yeah, this might change things.
I heard a whistle. I don't see the flag.
I didn't really get the feeling that was a false start scenario.
Did the referees...
Not ready? What's going on here? They're not moving the ball.
So not sure. What we do know is that the Capital Eagles did not send the field goal unit on. They are definitely going for it.
Yeah, that's not good for us. I mean, they might have spotted the ball in the wrong spot, but then here we come out and run the play. Are we changing the play? That looked like a real rollout.
Oh, and they're coming to the backside. Uh-oh.
Oh,
it's a big man.
on, Barry.
It's a big man. Rumbling, stumbling in.
Look at the sideline. You're going to see every old lineman run out and tackle this guy right now. Look at that.
Jack Varing with the reception and the touchdown. And the Hoggle Nation. The Hoggle Nation is going nuts.
I just had a flashback of Benji Simmons with the Fumblerooski. That's about as good glory days as you could get.
Jake in 1993.
Oh, it was 90. I think it was 96. Benji, I'm sorry if I'm messing this up. 96 when you ran the Fumblerooski. I can't even think. That made everybody's night right now. Look at him run out the field.
My story goes back to 93 when Jake Holloway against the Bora Lions in the playoffs. With the last play of the game, the Capital Eagles ran a Fumblerooski.
I'm gonna tell you, it was a Fumblerooski. Our fans are probably going, "What is the Fumblerooski?" And others are going, "Oh my God, I think Nebraska started the Fumblerooski back with Tommy Osborne." But, oh my God, we used to rep it.
If you're not sure, Google it and find some highlight plays. You'll see some big men rumbling, stumbling down the sidelines with the ball in their hand. But in this particular case, it's our quarterback.
What do they call this play? They call
Ryan
it
Hibbs. Ryan Hibbs with a pass to Jack Varing. And number 64, Hoggle Nation, is proud of that touchdown.
They've been waiting to pull that out all year. I guarantee it. It was 4th down. There's not a better scenario. He almost dropped the ball. I'm not going to lie. I'm so glad he didn't drop the ball.
And you were mad at the referees.
I'm glad they didn't give it away enough that you actually saw, the old lineman going out for a pass. So thank goodness they didn't give it away when they stopped that play before.
So with 13 seconds to go, the Capital Eagles kick off. The Boise Braves will take over at the 22. And the Capital Eagles are feeling good with some trickeration.
Oh, yeah. I am, too. That perked me up. They got the crowd going. And I know every guy on the sideline right now is giving Varing a little pat on the butt, saying, right on. Good for you.
Well, a couple weeks ago, I was throwing a fit at old Coach Gary Harvey for not giving me my Hoggle shirt. But I have to say this now. Coach Harvey has made it up threefold, and I feel good, and I am part of it. It's been 20 years that I've been denied my Hoggle t-shirt.
So what did he do?
Instead, Coach Gary Harvey, who's been rolling around the valley in his own ride with Hoggle license plate, had a spare one with Hoggle, and he gave that to me last week. So, Coach Harv, you and I are even, and I'm proud to say that I'm part of Hoggle Nation as a tight end. The best athletes on the field are always the tight end.
That's right. We got 3 in the box.
Three in the box right now.
out of 3.
I'm sure athletic director Steve Sosnowski's out there somewhere going, blah, 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 tight ends, call the game.
Kyle was a tight end. His son was a tight end.
That's true. So maybe he's going to give a little more love to his genetics.
He's a big boy, I'm not going to lie. So was Kyle.
Well, Coach Sosnowski's wife must have brought the athleticism to the field to move from the D line to produce an athlete that could go play tight end.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
I will. So, with the first quarter over, 12 minutes in, the Capital Eagles are up 20-0 over the Boise Braves on Boise Braves Senior Night, Boise Braves Homecoming Weekend. So, the Capital Eagles, like I said, fighting for positioning right now. Some of the other games that have playoff implications. The Capital Eagles obviously playing the Boise Braves. The Rocky Mountain Grizz playing the Bora Lions, which does indeed have playoff implications for the Capital Eagles. If Rocky, the score holds, then it looks like the Capital Eagles may end up playing the Bora Lions next week in the first round of the playoffs. Other games, the Mountain View Mavericks, they have locked up their quarterfinal first round bye and a quarterfinal position. Here we go. The Braves with a first down as they come out throwing again. But Mountain View is taking on the 0-8 Timberline Wolves tonight. Other playoff implications, the Skyview Hawks and the Meridian Warriors. They are battling for the last spot, I think, mathematically, for that free spot that goes through. They're battling for that spot tonight. The Skyview Hawks at 4-4, the Meridian Warriors at 3-5, but if Meridian wins, that'll tie them up. And then the last game, and this one's interesting. It's the Eagle Mustangs versus the Centennial Patriots. Centennial put up quite a fight. The Boise Braves back to the ground, probably more than I anticipated, but that's a 10-yard gain. That's 1/6 of their gain per game average. So the Boise Braves have been threatening if it weren't for turnovers. Turnovers on downs. And the Eagle Mustang game and the Centennial Patriot game. If somehow the Centennial Patriots, the underdogs, they showed some fight last week? Showed some fight, or 2 weeks ago, showed some fight against the Capital Eagles. If somehow they could knock off the Eagle Mustangs, then Capital would slide into the third position. If everybody holds, if it goes chalk tonight and Rocky Mountain wins and Eagle Mustangs win and the Capital Eagles win, Capital will go into the playoffs 4th out of our conference. And we'll end up playing the 5th place team, which looks like the Bora Lions. 2nd and 10 for the Boise Braves into this game. And they go up top. And he's got a man. And
they're giving it to him.
They're going to give it to him.
Oh,
that was Bonington number 5, Hudson Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm just going to say 19. He didn't get his head around soon enough. He was in man coverage. He was running step for step with them. I think there's just that point after that 15, 16, 17 yards, and the receiver hasn't had a move of any type to get back to the sideline or a dig route. You got to get your head around and get your hand on him so you can feel him and get in his hip pocket. Get your eyes back because you know that's the only route he's doing is that fade route. And unfortunately, we just didn't make that play.
Well, and the Boise Braves go back to the ground, and he tried to find a hole, but it went nowhere and went nowhere fast. And that is Charlie, Charlie Hastrider.
Charlie. Nice
So a
tackle.
loss of 7 on that. So the Capital Eagles back the Boise Braves up to looks like 2nd down and about 17.
Yeah, I meant to make a comment. I'm actually really excited to hear about the Eagle Centennial game. Those are, I think, maybe the rivalry between Rocky and Eagle has gotten elevated with their successes. But when you think about it, there was Meridian, then there was Centennial. And then they get split up again as West Ada was growing and Meridian was growing in population. And Eagle comes around in 95. And there's a little bit of a rivalry there between those two teams. And I've really been impressed with Centennial. Their quarterback's #1, I believe, in the stats you've been reading this year. And I think it's Kent or Clark.
Coke.
Yeah, that's the quarterback, and the receiver too, though, is #1, I think.
Oh,
as
yes,
well.
yeah.
So I mean, they got #1.
And that was
passing
Clark.
quarterback.
Yeah, correct.
Clark. I was trying to remember his name. I was screwing up when I was calling it during the game because Cook was the quarterback, and I thought I was messing up the receiver's name. But he's the #1 receiver in the league as well, and so maybe they have that opportunity if their run defense can stop, Ben Ford. Maybe they got a chance, and we have a big opportunity to jump up in the playoff standings.
Well, Eagles sophomore sensation sure looked the part last week. But since the Boise Braves went to the ground and lost 7 after 2 incomplete passes, the Boise Braves punted away, and that one did not go very far. The Capital Eagles came after it again. So with 4th and about 26, they punted away with a punt that went maybe about 8 yards, I'm guessing here. We'll see where the referees spot it.
Yeah, he was wanting to get rid of that one a little bit quicker after getting blocked on the last possession. Sure, the coach was like, you got 1 step and get rid of the ball. And that time he did that, but didn't get his foot on the ball as well as he could have.
So the Capital Eagles, with 8:36 to go, they come out throwing. That's Hibbs to Blackham.
Nice tackle by the corner, number 26. Blackham's a big guy, and he did a good job one-on-one getting him down to the ground.
Yeah, no name on number 26 there on the roster. It's a blank spot. So the Capital Eagles with the what? Yeah, they're looking to snap the ball quick with a little bit of motion of Hawley. And Hibbs up the middle. And he's going to be short, but it's a gain of about 7. 8:06 to go. The Capital Eagles leading 20-0.
8 minutes left in the second quarter. I'm just going to try and get with Coach Simmons at halftime and tell him not to run our quarterback too much on fly sweep read so that we can go into next week with a healthy quarterback. We don't need to beat him up a little bit today.
So the Capital Eagles hand it off to Sammy SD. Sammy SD picks up about 3 yards, but that was enough for the first down. So with 7:44 to go, clock running. Hibbs in the shotgun. And it's Hibbs. It's out to Alec Weber. Alec Weber with the move. Oh, he gets popped, but he pops right back up, and a gain of 9 for Alec Weber.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe Jackson Beers, he was a big part of the offense, filling in for Bidner being out, and I think maybe he got dinged up a little bit. I know he had a kind of a thigh bruise, and now Alex Weber, I think he caught that one as
back
well.
to back.
Yeah,
Hibbs had a pump fake up over the
this
top,
is
and the
great.
corners bit, and that left Alec Weber wide open in the flats. And he picks up the first down, and the Capital Eagles, with a quick offense, are moving the chains. So another first down on the 38-yard line. Not waiting for the play call.
Yeah, there's a pass.
Alec Weber.
Pass.
Alec Weber.
Oh, no, he got
Come back and get it. Oh, that's got to be a PI. Yes.
Oh, that was, he didn't quite have enough time to throw that ball, and I think he got hit as he threw it. That ball was a dead duck up in the air. And
well, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Weber, number 11 for the Capital Eagles. He is on the roster as a wide receiver. He's caught the last 2 passes, and he's also listed as a quarterback, backup quarterback to Hibbs. So I think he was a little under pressure there, so he didn't get a chance to set his feet and was looking to throw that trick play. Again, back to the trickeration, but we pick up the passing interference, and that moves the chain to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, 7:04 to go. Hibbs looks again. That's not Weber, but it is out to Alec Bender. Alec Bender, who's been on the injury list here for the last few weeks, he is still, even though he I believe he was our leading receiver early in the year, and since his injury, Blackham has passed him statistically. But yeah, Alex Bender, 493 yards, 5 touchdowns.
I think he missed 2.5 games. Little lower leg injury. Ooh, nice play there. Tight end. The old Trey look. got to give a shout out to the tight end there when he can sneak up the middle and get a pop pass.
And that one was Keyshawn Stuckman, senior tight end, with the reception and the touchdown. So Hibbs, great play fake, faked the handoff, faked the run himself, and then pulled up and almost a little delayed pop pass, finds Keyshawn Stuckman. And Capital Eagles put 6 more points up on the board and another extra point, and the kick is good.
Yeah, 27-0 right now with 6 minutes left in the half. So that's what Capital was looking for. They're trying to get up on top early. Probably get this opportunity to go into halftime feeling pretty good about some of the little trickery they've had and a little bit of excitement with some of the boys that don't get that many looks throughout most of the season.
Well, I'm guessing that it is absolutely soccer state tournament because I'm watching the Boise High kicking game over here, and after the last couple punts, it's not going well. They're over here trying to find their rhythm.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just making a Captain Obvious statement that we can see from the press box here, that maybe not from the television, but from the press box. And I just bring that up because the special teams, one Capital gave up a block extra point, but then blocked a punt themselves and have come close the last couple times. Like I said, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to keep bringing it. I will also say the Boise Braves have not brought the pressure themselves after the first blocked extra point. Why would they not? You know, they came out with a little bit of fire.
I think they did, and they
Where
backed
did he go?
off. Ooh, is he down?
He's not. The white hat was right there and let it play. So after the kickoff, the Boise Braves, they get it out to about the 25-yard line with 6:29 to go, trailing 27-0 in the second quarter. The Capital Eagles starting to rotate in some defensive players early. There was only one white hat to start the game, one gold hat to start the game, and we've got 4 out there now. So getting some of our players some early reps. In the shotgun, Bonnie rolling to the near side, sets his feet, looks, finds a guy, and no, it's busted up. That one was busted up by number 7, Cooper Leaf. It looks like Cooper Leaf's brother's out there as well, twin brothers.
Yeah, 40.
Number 40.
Yeah, he's out there.
I've got twin boys myself, and I do kind of look forward someday seeing them out on the field.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty special.
We'll be old men by then, calling from the booth. And I'm sure I'll be biased.
We are already.
There is no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. We're diehard Capital Eagles. Bonning back again, finds a man out into the flat. That was number 5, Hudson Hamilton. It doesn't go very far. Leaf with the wrap up there.
Yeah, who's 19 again? Del Rio.
Yeah, Del Rio.
He did a great job closing, but that's where you kind of just shoot for the shins and take out his legs. He stopped and tried to tackle him, and he got the stiff arm and pushed him back. Like to see him be a little bit more aggressive shooting at his feet there. Take care of it when you got a big boy like that and a little bit undersized corner.
So here we go, the Boise Braves.
He's a sophomore. I gotta give him some credit. I mean, he's a sophomore. He's getting that opportunity. He's manned up right now. Oh, the old back shoulder fade didn't work out.
And they were looking for Hudson Hamilton again. So I'm going to give Justice Del Rio, number 19. He's one of the few defenders that have been out there all year that still has a gold hat. He got picked on early and often as a sophomore, out there on an island by himself as corner. He got picked on early and often, but I'm not going to lie. In the last few games, they've tried to go at him, and he has held his own. He still gets caught once or twice a game, but I am very impressed with how much ground he has made up from his very first game.
Yeah.
Coming in, having only played freshman ball. Oh, and the special teams almost get to that punt again. So my Captain Obvious statement early on, starting to reap some.
Well, he doesn't have much time. He's catching it and trying to kick it. They got to work on their protection more than really about him kicking the ball well.
So back to Justice Del Rio. Like I said, a lot of those teams were picking on him, but he, as a sophomore,
He's improved a lot.
Has improved a ton, and he started every game.
And just from a defensive mindset too, you got what we call a field corner. He's going to go to the wide side of the field. You got the corner that's going to be on the short side of the field. You tend to give more help with your safeties maybe to that wide side of the field to make sure that you're balanced. And then honestly, that boundary corner who Del Rio is, he's by himself a lot, and he's done a heck of a job.
Well, the Capital Eagles come back out, and that's Hibbs with a big bomb for about 30 yards. And it looks like it is to number 16 for the Capital Eagles, and that's Jackson Beers. So the Capital Eagles move the chains.
Good. That's right. So Jackson is back. He had some success last week, and I was wondering where he was in these first few series this first half.
Well, Lord Almighty, the Capital Eagles have been beat up. Did he catch it?
They're giving it
to him. That was Hibbs to Hawley.
All right.
Michael Hawley, number 2.
Man, that was a nice ball. I mean, he threw that. He might have thrown it. If he did a little bit better, it might have been a touchdown, but he put it right on the sideline that only his receiver could get to. You like that with your QB.
Well, the little quarterback keeper here. He decides to throw his way down the field, but run this one in for a touchdown. So the Capital Eagles, they score. They score quickly on that one. And they take a 33-0 lead with 5:02 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's called zone read. The left tackle blocks down. He leaves the guy in front of him, and the quarterback holds the ball out for the running back, staring at the D-end that did not get tackled. And if that D-end crashes to go for the dive play, he pulls the ball out and takes it himself. And that's exactly how that play went down. He pulled the ball, and there wasn't that D-end staring at him, and he had that opportunity to walk into the end zone.
And he put 6 on the board, and as the Capital Eagles line up to kick the extra point, it looks like we got a neutral zone infraction by the Boise Braves. Capital did have that play, that extra point blocked. It doesn't look like they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, just kick the ball here.
Up 33-0, they decide to just go for 1. So the Capital Eagles line up to kick the extra point, and it's good. So with 5:02 to go, the Capital Eagles, firing on all cylinders, have a 34-0 lead. So before the Hawley catch down to the 1-yard line, I was just saying that the Capital Eagles have been just hit with the injury bug left and right all year long, and have not had a full team since maybe the first game.
Yeah.
Maybe the first game. And they're still not 100% back. I think, is it Ed Black, our middle linebacker?
No, he's done for the season.
He's done. Okay, that was going to
knee.
say. He was the one that I'm still looking for.
Yeah, I mean, since we've started calling the games against Bora, it's been consistently one guy after another that just have been rotating out. Luckily, I mean, not a lot of guys that are out for the rest of the season, so they've had this chance to have some time off and come back. And hopefully at the right time of the year, really, as we go into the playoffs, you want that chip on your shoulder. You want to have confidence. You want to be playing your best football. So I know not everyone's back. I wish Matt Rule was back to get back at game speed going into the playoffs. But we definitely have some of those guys back. I know Turpin's back at linebacker. He was out for a couple weeks. Binder was out for almost 3 weeks. There's definitely been those guys. Sam, our running back, he was out for a few games. Maybe injury related or not, but here we are in a situation where we got everybody that needs to be getting the reps and playing at their top competitive level.
Especially with the playoffs right around the corner. So the Capital Eagles, they kick off after scoring the last touchdown. The Boise Braves will take over at about the 21, 22-yard line. I'm going to give a shout out to Ed Black. He only played in 4 games before he hurt his knee. But even after 4 games, he is currently still, it looks like, 9th overall in the conference as far as tackles go. he came in averaging 9 tackles a game. And so he started off on fire. So I feel bad for Ed Black. And going down, and he's a senior. You hate to see that. Senior
I think,
year.
and I mean, just to piggyback off what you were saying, he was a senior. He had maybe just found out that his season might have ended with his knee injury. And that first game we called against Bora, a rivalry game like that, they still gave him a black hat. And he was a captain, defensive captain for that game, and he went out on crutches to midfield to be a part of that experience and pull the sword out. So, I mean, I know it doesn't justify everything that he's been through, but I hope it was something that he looks forward to. And, you know, down the road, thinking that was a great experience.
So Bonning rolls out, finds a man with a completion, a gain of about 1. So it is third down and 7. Needing a little bit of momentum with 3:53 to go in the second quarter. So Capital's still missing a few players. But maybe in another week, we'll have everybody back because it looks like they're starting to come to the sideline now. So the Boise Braves drop back, but there's a flag on the play. It looks like false start.
False start. Backing it up even more for him there. That makes it a little bit tougher now with 3rd and maybe 11.
And that's exactly what it is. 3rd and 11. So backed up to the 21-yard line. 3rd and 11. 3:30 to go. Trailing 34-0. The Capital D-line in stance. And here comes the pressure up the middle, but he gets rid of it. And Leaf comes over. I think Leaf could have picked it, but he didn't quite have that one more step he needed to pick it and get his next interception. Again, number 7 for the Capital Eagles. He leads the conference, or excuse me, leads the team in interception. So that does get a 4th down, and the Boise Braves look to punt it away. We'll see if Capital tries to put a few more points on the board before halftime. Clock is stopped. Referees conferring. Looks like Boise calling a timeout. This is a great timeout by the Boise Braves. The Capital Eagles special teams have really came after them these last few plays. And like I was watching the punter over here, he's not the most confident punter at the moment, feeling all of that pressure. You like to have a little bit of time, a little bit of timing. But if Capital's going to bring everybody, it's probably a wise timeout by the Boise Braves to find a little bit of protection and see if they can punt this away and keep the Eagles from putting more points on the board with the 3:18 that's left to go. At the same time, with 3 minutes to go, we'll see what we can do of finding up some more scores to line it up. Besides the Capital Boise game, an important game for the Capital Eagles, Rocky Mountain versus Bora. Rocky was leading 14-7 at last we heard. We'll find out about that. Mountain View is playing Timberline, and that should be a pretty rough score for our inner city friends, the Timberline Timberwolves. It's 21-14. Rocky Mountain over Bora. Here comes the pressure, and the Capital Eagles. The punt was no good.
Oh!
And it is going in for a touchdown.
Larson
Exactly what the Boise
score.
Braves did not want to happen is exactly what happened. I didn't see who blocked it, but I did see who ran it in.
That's Larson.
That's Cade Larson, number 29.
Awesome. As a defensive player, as a defensive coach, you just keep on trying to press this week after week about turnovers, and to have that opportunity from the special teams side is absolutely huge. Looks like a couple guys got so excited they ran off the field not knowing they needed to be back on the field for PAT. Oh, that's great, though.
Well, they're back there now, and the Capital Eagles on 25 seconds. And it's good. So, the Capital Eagles They've got quarterbacks running it in. They've got corners running it in. They've got O-linemen running it in. They've got linebackers running it in. The Capital Eagles are scoring points.
Tonight.
Scoring points from every angle possible tonight.
Yeah, not sure how you scout a team, you know, when you watch the film on this, going, oh my God, they got everybody scoring, and we're up already big at halftime.
41-0 with 3:11 to go.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie here. We're waiting for kickoff, right? I was looking at the live feed on KCHS.
KCHS.
I hope he's listening right now. I'm going to see if he is or not. But my old pal, Keone Lima. There's been a lot of Limas that come through Capital. He's watching tonight. He's making some comments saying, you know, hopefully we got our sound figured out early. Sounds like things are better now.
I went to school with Kalani Lima.
See, I mean, there's been a lot of Limas.
And was coached by Rocky Lima.
Now, I haven't got a chance to talk to Keone, but I got his son in my class now. So if he's listening now, he already commented on good old Benji Simmons run the Fumblerooski. So he's like, he goes, yep, Benji nailed it.
Well, if Benji Simmons was listening, he's not listening anymore.
Well, I'm sorry, buddy. You just got pulled into this. You're a Capital alum. We're a Capital alum. We like to share out with you guys that are listening and having fun doing it from home.
So the Capital Eagles kick off again, and the Boise Braves will take over first down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's been fun being out here on Friday nights. Thursday. It's been 2 Thursday night games.
Back-to-back Thursdays.
Yeah, I don't miss going to school early in the morning on Friday after these games, after being so amped up after it. But it's definitely been fun being a part of it.
It has been fun representing KCHS Broadcasting, going live. In fact, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy behind it, behind the scenes, the wizard, Gabe Garcia just walked in to check on us. He's smiling, trying to ignore us.
An ex-Capital alum, football player, corner, I believe.
Yeah, it was a fist bump. He gives a smile and a fist bump. Not to Jason Gordon in this scenario, to Coach Gordon in this scenario. The Boise Braves, they run it up the middle for a gain of 1, second down and 9, 2:40 to go, trailing 41-0. Capital, lining up, coming after him, rolling to the near side. He throws it up. He has the man. Oh, and it was going to be picked.
Yeah.
It was going to be picked, and he saw it. And he slips down. That's number 29.
That's Larson getting another chance.
A chance at a touchdown, a chance at a pick, and he slips and goes down. He saw it, too.
Yeah, we're on turf. No excuses.
Might have been the gold shoes. They sure look good. So we've got a wizard behind the curtain with us today, and then we've got some gold slippers out there slipping around on the turf. We'll stick with this Wizard of Oz theme. So the Boise Braves facing 3rd and 9. Bonning drops back, finds number 5, out to the flats, and it does not go anywhere, and maybe a gain of about 3. Clock is indeed running. I think Coach Sim is comfortable with this 41-point lead, is not calling timeouts in this scenario. I think if the game were a little closer, he probably would call a couple timeouts, save some time.
No, it's not the right thing to do right now.
Well, not up 41-0, but I think in a closer game, that would have been the play.
Yeah, we just went at 2 minutes here before the end of the half. We'll kick the ball. I'm not going to say that he's not going to have an opportunity for some guys that maybe don't get as many reps to maybe move the ball down the field and still put up another score, but maybe the punt return didn't put as much pressure on them as well.
Well, and the Boise Braves give their punter some time this time, and he gets off a beaut.
Yeah, good kick by 25.
You know what? It's a great kick by number 25, their punter. That is Nick Black. The guy just needed a little bit of time, and he'd get the ball off. So I feel good for him. But the Capital Eagles will take over on their own 24-yard line, 1:29 to go, leading the Boise Braves 41-0. We'll get some halftime scores here for you to give you an update on some of the games that are pivotal around the conference as far as seeding goes. The Capital Eagles ham it off to Sammy SD, and it goes nowhere. Actually, a loss of about 4. Clock running, minute 20 to go.
Yeah, they chose to run the ball there, so maybe they're not going to attack and be as aggressive as I thought they might to try and move the ball to the other end of the field here, get some breathing room. But here we are, a minute left in the second quarter. They're probably going to be smart here and make sure they don't turn it over.
Well, we've got Jonesy in the backfield, and that's where the ball goes in. Jonesy up the middle, and he had a burst of speed for about 5 yards, but the Boise Braves collapsed quick. It looks like, judging by the time, 45 seconds left to go. The Capital Eagles will have to run another play. Thought just maybe the Boise Braves might consider burning a timeout and maybe trying to get a little bit of momentum, but it looks like they're content to let the clock run out also. So third down and about 7 from their own 27-yard line. Hibbs hands off to Sammy SD, who's still running like it's a loaf of bread.
God, I was just going to say the same thing. I wish he would tuck that ball up higher. He's got to do a better job of that. He's got those opportunities where he gets past that first line, and he has to make sure that he doesn't get caught off guard and someone comes strips the ball behind him. High and tight.
So here we go. 20 seconds left. The Eagles will indeed run another play after gaining a first down. That's Jones to the ground. Jones is wrapped up, and he gets about 1 yard, maybe 2, before it's blown dead. And that should do it. Yep, both teams are headed to the locker room. So, after 2 quarters in this inter-city rivalry, the oldest school in the conference, the oldest school perhaps in the state maybe even.
I can't answer that. I mean, you're looking at Boise, but I kind of get lost if you think about Pocatello High, Caldwell, and Nampa.
Well, I'm no geography guy, but the only other, I would guess Boise or Lewiston or Nampa, they had to have been, I think they all had their shot at being the state capital, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they were probably the oldest high school. So one of those 3. But in this particular scenario, the Boise Braves, they're the oldest school in the city, and they are in trouble for 41-0 after 2. So let me break down some playoff scenarios while we round up some scores, some halftime scores here.
Help me out.
So, first place in the conference, it's the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies, undefeated #1 in the state. They have a first-round bye and will meet up in the quarterfinals with somebody. I haven't seen the breakdown of who that would be just yet, but they get a first-round bye. The Mountain View Mavericks, sitting at 6-2, have also locked up a first-round bye as the #2. The #1 North, the #1 East, and the #1 and 2 from the West get first-round byes. Then, in a 3-way tie, it's the Capital Eagles, the Eagle Mustangs, and the Bora Lions. All 3 have beaten each other. Capital beat Bora, Bora beat Eagle, and Eagle beat Capital. So they're in a 3-way tie. All 5 teams, Rocky, Mountain View, Eagle, Capital, and Bora, have already locked up playoff positions. Then there's the Skyview Hawks and the Meridian Warriors. Skyview at 4-4, and Meridian at 3-5, playing each other tonight. If Skyview wins, I believe they're in. If Meridian wins, I believe they're in. So that's a pivotal game for those 2 teams. Last game of the year for one of them. Last game of the year for one of them, playoffs on the spot. So, Capital is playing Boise, Rocky Mountain is playing Bora, Mountain View is playing Timberline, Skyview Meridian, and the game that has the most impact for the Capital Eagles is Eagle and Centennial. I haven't seen a score update on that one.
They play tomorrow.
Oh, they're a Saturday game.
Well,
or
today's
no, excuse
Thursday.
me. I guess we're still on a Thursday
I
night.
wish it was Friday, but they play tomorrow night. Boise State's game is a Friday night game.
Okay,
so,
okay.
you know, us Boise schools are kind of forced to play that Thursday night game, and Bora, again, is playing that tonight as well.
Okay, so the only score that we're going to get is going to be Rocky Mountain and Bora.
Yeah.
And the Boar Lions have lost their quarterback, Jake Stanley, and so
I don't know if he's back.
I have not heard.
I know he wasn't last week. I don't think he either.
So Bora is showing some fight in a battle with the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies, who have, like you brought up, they're only giving up 11 points a game, and the Boar Lions have already put 14 on the board. So they're showing some fight against the Rocky Mountain. If Bora beats Rocky, I don't even know. I did not even prep for what that playoff scenario would be.
What does that overall record put him?
That would put them at 6-3. That would put, well, it depends.
That'd put them ahead of us then, wouldn't it?
It would. Well, no, because we're gonna.
Judging
by the halftime score, the Capital Eagles with a 41-point lead.
We win, then we're tied, and we get the tiebreaker then.
But that Centennial Eagle game, if Centennial beats Eagle, they'll still be out of the playoffs, I believe. But that would drop Eagle down, and that would drop Eagle rather than being in third place, because I do believe they have the tiebreaker, because Eagle defeated Mountain View. Mountain View's 2 losses, 6-2. 1 loss to Rocky, 1 loss to Eagle. So that would give Eagle, in a 3-way tie scenario, that will give Eagle the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So Eagle is looking at the moment at the number 3 seed, and the Capital Eagles at the number 4, and the Boar Lions today at number 5. Which, playoff-wise, that would put the Capital Eagles against arch rival and nemesis, the Boar Lions. At the same time, I believe the Eagle Mustangs, whomever it happens to be, whoever gets the 3rd spot, will end up playing either Skyview or Meridian in that first round. So it does stay local in the first round of playoffs, minus the East, the East and the North. They'll mix it up a little bit. But that's kind of the rough, off the top of my head, playoff scenario.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I think where our heads are at, again, it's minus some catastrophe in the second half, is that I think we're likely seeing us playing Bora. And then, we'll win that game. We'll win that game. But we'd have to go north to Coeur d'Alene, I believe.
Yes, I will say the number 1 team, the Rocky Mountain Grizz currently, and the number two team in the state, undefeated Coeur d'Alene Vikings.
Yeah, they're good.
They are going to end up playing on the same side. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, about how the brackets for the state playoffs, for those of you who don't know, they are predetermined. So the predetermined playoff positioning of who plays whom and where is all predetermined. But the Idaho Sports Athletic Association, Idaho High School Sports Athletic Association, they are running with an experimental system at the 2A level. This year, the 2A level, they will be re-ranked. When the season is over, they'll be re-ranked based off an RPI system that is, I believe, modeled after the state of Washington's high school RPI system. And they'll re-rank, and the 2As will have it a playoff non-predetermined based off of the RPI.
For our viewers sitting here at halftime, maybe watching the halftime show, what's RPI?
That is... help me out on this one.
I don't know. I threw you under the bus.
You did. You totally.
Sorry.
I went to take a drink of water right between that little pause.
I was like, RPI. I'm like,
you caught me.
Runs per. I'm sitting there going, I thought when we talked about this earlier, it was like random. It was randomly.
It's October. It's baseball. It's runs per inning. It's runs.
I'm with you. When you said that they were going to reseed and scramble it, I had no idea what that system was. Okay, we got our silent partner over here, rating percentage index.
Justin Stringer, tight end legend from Nampa Christian. What do we got? What's our answer?
Rating percent index, and then it says the quantity used to rank sports teams based upon a team's wins and losses and its strength of schedule. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me, because when they use that a little bit in NCAA coaches poll and whatnot, they're going to try and maybe figure out who those best teams are to make the playoffs. They're going to actually bring in, what type of schedule. And I think that's interesting to me. Maybe that's why they're doing it in the 2A. They must not play all of each other.
Well,
you know,
it's experimental. I think they're just going to see how it plays out, how it switches things up a little bit.
if they don't play all of each other, and then you know you have those teams that maybe had a little bit harder schedule throughout the year, or maybe starting out the year, I'm not even sure how to process that really, unless you're not playing everyone in the conference. So therefore, they might have a difference in who they played and who hasn't.
Well, and we're kind of throwing the East under the bus here. The undefeated, I think the Highland Rams are #1 in the East. I'm not sure if they're undefeated, so don't get me wrong. Rocky Mountain and Coeur d'Alene, both undefeated also. They would end up, if hypothetically it went from, if #1, #2, #3, and #4 in the state all happen to meet in the semifinals, just purely going off the state rankings. You know, #1 and #2 would play, and #3 and #4 would play in that semifinals.
Right.
So this year is definitely not an optimal year for the way it's arranged.
No,
But
I don't think so either.
it'd be interesting to see how the RPI plays out, and I imagine if it's successful this year at the 2A level, I imagine it's going to come to a vote, and it'll probably be implemented across the board next year.
Yeah, those 2A teams, they travel so far to play their games and their schedules, right? So I guess, you know, filling out that schedule, they're not playing those teams across the state as much. So
There is no doubt that in the West, in the SIC Conference, Southern Idaho Conference, you don't have to travel very far. It is a blessing that you're not loading up on the bus and traveling for hours.
Yeah.
I believe the longest trip for the Capital Eagles this year would have been out to Skyview, which is roughly about 17 miles away. That's a long trip.
Yeah, I know, you know, Coeur d'Alene, they've found some creative ways to, you know, jumping back up to the 5A class, you know, they've gone over to Washington and played a few games too. You know, I mean, you know, just non-conference, getting an opportunity to play against maybe a bigger school and getting that experience more or less. And so I could see how maybe that RPI index, if you will, might play into that.
Well, in
with
Highland,
their overall record.
and Highland slides down to Salt Lake City.
That's true.
And Ogden and Provo. And,
Yeah, they do too.
And teams like that, which I'm not sure the distance in miles there, but that might be closer than coming to Boise. And
That's
playing
really
teams.
interesting to think about. Yeah.
What an opportunity for them to travel out of state, I suppose. Even though they're, you know, it's not much of a drive, it's still playing somebody from another state. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. That's 5 minutes to go left in halftime. The Boise Braves are trailing the mighty Capital Eagles 41-0. I'm Blas Teleria with Jason Gordon and our silent partner Justin Stringer up in the press box tonight. That's what I got.
Yeah,
we'll be
I
back
heard
in
that.
4 minutes.
All right, I think we're live, Blast.
And here we go. This second half is underway. The Capital Eagles received the ball in the first half and are kicking off to the Boise Braves in the second half. It looks like a Capital Eagles coming up injured. Not a great way for the Eagles to start the second half. So the Boise Braves trying to find a little momentum into the second half on senior night, relying on their quarterback. We're hoping that Bonning can get some momentum going and finding his receivers. The Boise run game has been non-existent all year, but the Boise passing game has been quite effective. So I'm not seeing what Capital player is down. Looks like number 33.
Jackson Reed.
So Jackson Reed comes up limping after the kickoff.
Yeah, hopefully he can walk that off and get some ice on that tonight.
So the Boise Braves trying to find a little momentum in the second half. Probably relying on their passing game. Trying to find a little bit of momentum. Looking for their receivers, their go-to guys, which is generally speaking, it's Carson Jones and Cole Alton. However, tonight, Boeing has gone a couple of different routes. So the Boise Braves, quick to the ground game. It looks like about a gain of 2.
Yeah, you don't see Boise High in a two-back set too often. A little split-back shotgun, quick dive. That was a downhill run on that situation, but Capital D-line was there right in their grill, body on body, didn't have anywhere to go. They ain't going to get back in the game doing that. Looks like we got our starters still out to start the second half. See if we start seeing some rotations in here and seeing how things start out on this series.
And it's not starting off well for the Boise Braves. Boeing is under pressure again, and Carson Boeing goes down.
Frenchie.
And that was Jace French, number 55, junior. As in, he's not French junior, he is a junior year.
Yeah, great play by him. He almost slipped out of that tackle, but he did a good job holding on to that jersey, make sure he didn't get away. But I think I'd still going down as an unassisted in that situation, so good for him.
So it's third down and long for the Boise Braves.
Two-back,
looking to make momentum.
Yeah, two-back set here again.
Two-back set to the near side.
Yeah.
Under pressure. Boeing scrambling. What a run. He's got room. He switches hands with the ball, makes a play, but no, the Capital Eagles swarm him before he gets to the first down.
Thank goodness, man. He had a lot of field there. It looked like he was going to get the first down in that situation.
So fourth down. So in the first series of the second half.
I mean, they just had two backs in there basically to block, to give more time to him. But when you do that, you have less options. We took it away, and next thing you know, he's taking off running.
Well, I don't notice if you just notice what happened right here in front of us. For people who can't see the game, you've got myself, Laz Solaria, and Jason Gordon calling the game. We don't know what we're doing, but we're calling the game. We opened up the window of our booth to get a little bit of fresh air in here, and legitimately, we cleared out a whole row of Boise Braves all by ourselves.
That's because you're so loud.
They got up and moved. Now, I don't know if they actually left or if they just moved.
No, it was you. It was you.
It could have been.
I was surprised when we were calling the Bora game because they wouldn't let us in the press box.
Yeah.
So here we are over on our visiting sideline as high as we can get in the bleachers among the Capital family parents, and we're just chatting away the whole time, getting the looks over the shoulders, going, holy smokes, these guys are actually announcing?
Well, I don't know if we're calling the game next week, and I don't know if we're playing Bora next week, but I'll tell you what, Bora Lions, we're going to be in the booth. But the Capital Eagles, with a quick run, Sammy SD.
Oh, nice cutback.
Easily the biggest run of the year for Sammy SD, and that goes about 50 yards. So Sammy SD rips off a big run for the Capital Eagles, and the Capital Eagles are quickly threatening to put more points on the Braves with 9:18 to go. Here we go. Hibbs looking to the sideline, looking for the play in the shotgun. Jonesy in the background. And it's a handoff to Little Jones up the middle, and he gets swarmed up. The Boise Braves were quick on that one. Jones's feet keeps moving, waiting for the white hat to blow the whistle. Good for Jones to keep his feet moving. Good for the Boise Braves wrapping up quickly. And that's going to be a gain of nothing. So 2nd down and 10. The Capital Eagles at the 28-yard line of the Boise Braves. Hibbs in shotgun still. Sammy SD back into the backfield. 2nd and 10. Motion to the near side. That's Hawley. Hibbs looks a little tight end. It's not a tight end, but it's a tight end.
Look at it. All right.
And Jackson, number
Holy
33.
cow, you gotta be kidding me.
Jackson Reed catches a little pop route, fights off a couple of Boise Brave defenders, and marches into the end zone. And that's the 2nd black hat for the Capital Eagles to score a touchdown tonight.
Oh my gosh, I'm not even kidding you. That guy was not going to go down. He took every one of those guys on and said, "You are not taking me to the ground. I'm getting into the end zone." And he got so excited, he ran off the field. Look at him. He's got to get back out here on PAT.
Yeah, he ran over, gave somebody a high five, maybe Coach Simmons.
He wanted some love, so he just forgot what he was supposed to be doing. That was an amazing play. He's just playing wing back, slipped up the middle. Wow, good for him.
So Jackson Beers, he scores a touchdown, runs to the sideline, gets a high five from Coach Simmons, and then gets a foot from Coach Tinker to get back out onto the field for the extra point, which is good. And so the Capital Eagles come out off a big Sammy SD run of about 50 yards, and the Capital Eagles punch it in on the Jackson Beers run reception, and it is 48-0 Capital.
Yeah, put him in running back. I mean, that kid runs hard. I can't even believe that.
Well, and he secured the ball too. He tucked it in. I can't promise it. Sorry about that. We're off air just there. Technical difficulty. So the Capital Eagles kick off, and it rolls into the end zone, and the Boise Braves will take over at the 20. So the Boise Braves, they'll take over at the 20-yard line, trying to find the second half momentum.
Yeah, let's see who comes out at quarterback here for Boise High. I'm not seeing number 3 Boning, and I think I see him horizontal over here on the trainer's table. Get an opportunity to look at something. I can't really get a good feel for what that issue is, but.
So the Boise Braves with a quarterback change, and they go to the ground. Capital Eagles swarms quickly, but the Boise Brave running back breaks out. And looks like a gain of about 6 yards. I didn't see the number. Was that number 39 on the run?
I think it was 22.
22.
Little guy.
Didn't quite have a glimpse on it.
Two-back set again for Boise High. Maybe a little bit of protection for the quarterback here. Maybe expect a pass play. Look at these linemen pop their heads up. Pass it is. Unfortunately, maybe a false start in this situation. Looks like that's what it is.
So for those of you listening to the game, we've had a few technical difficulties in here. I think we've worked out the kinks. We'll see what we can do. But we're back with you. The Boise Braves with the false start. Looking at 2nd and 11. with a quarterback change. I didn't quite, let me get the number on this. We were trying to work out the technical difficulties here. What's your number? Jason, you got a number on that?
I don't. I think it's
number 8.
Number
there
8.
It goes. Turn this way.
I thought it was 6 at first, but I knew that was a wide receiver. You can't have those 2 numbers on the same side of the ball. So, looks like, did you get that on the roster, number 6?
Yes. No.
Hamilton. Jones. Carson Jones.
Yeah, intended for Carson.
Senior. That's the wide receiver, and then what we see right now is Hank Strand.
Hank Strand, junior quarterback. He comes in, yes. So Hank Strand. So Hank Strand calling the plays for the Braves. He's a junior quarterback. 7:26 to go in the third quarter. The Braves looking for a little bit of momentum. Hank Strand with a nice ball up the top, and he's got a man.
Buddy there.
And the Boise Braves are looking to put points on the board, and it looks like they're going to get them. So Hank Strand comes in, junior quarterback, and threw a nice fade over the corner to number 33, Zeke Gilbert. And Zeke Gilbert races up the sideline. And the Boise fans go nuts.
Yeah, just to stick up for Capital a little bit here, I think we were rotating a few guys in the secondary. Saw a few of those starters maybe not out on the field on that time. Opportunity for them to get some reps and whatnot, but maybe just not quite clear on the communication with the coverage. I'm seeing Coach Banks right now grabbing number 12, maybe kind of getting him clear on what that coverage was, because that was definitely a broken coverage situation. Probably should have been in his deep quarter, and he was not there. He was squatting into cover 2, and nobody was there to take care of that situation.
And the Boise Braves come out and go for 2. So Hank Strand comes in for the Boise Braves and throws a bomb to Zeke Gilbert. And Zeke Gilbert runs it up the far sideline for a play of about, I'm guessing, about 50, 60-yard play for the Boise Braves.
Yeah, if not more.
If not more, I agree. So that's the kind of momentum the Boise Braves were looking for to come out into the second half. And so they put points on the board and now trail the Capital Eagles only 48-6. With 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. I assume special teams for the Boise Braves will try to capitalize on this momentum. We'll see what they do. Is it too early in the game? Too early in the game to think maybe the Boise Braves will try a little onside, a little trickeration of their own?
I'm probably not seeing it right now. I think they're down this much. They're looking to kick the ball and get guys with reps on both sides. Being the last game of the year, some of those seniors that haven't had much of a time to get on the field will hopefully get that opportunity. Being this far down, 7 minutes in the third, definitely in the fourth quarter, we're going to be seeing those rotations start to take place, and you want to get that opportunity for those kids.
Well, it is senior night for the Boise Braves, and I'm looking at their roster, and the Boise Braves, they have a pretty young roster. The senior night didn't take too long. They have a pretty young roster. And so I expect the Boise Braves trying to build on what they've built this year. Here we go. The Boise Braves kick deep. Capital Eagles take over at the 2. And right up the middle has a little room. And, there's a flag, so it's not going to matter. It's going to come back. It's not going to matter. So a great return by the Capital Eagles. But it looks like to be a penalty on the play. And it looks like it'll probably come back.
Yeah, Jackson Beers looked quick. He did a good job of just turning on the burners, having a little bit of faith and running straight down the middle, not worrying about trying to plant the foot and trying to outrun somebody on the sideline. He just went right up the gut, and that's what you want to see out of your special teams on kick return. Waiting on the call here. Looks like I didn't really interpret what that signal was, but I don't know if it was I have no idea. I'm sure it's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the spot foul.
Well, we called it twice. He signaled it twice. Either way, it's going back.
Two fists coming together at the chest area, or I didn't really see it.
Ooh, a blow to the head, maybe? Is that what he's maybe signaling?
That's what I do not know what that signal is. And I've been around football for a long time. Two guys running into each other, because that's what happens in football. But maybe it's some type of way of communicating an illegal blow. Whatever the case, that puts Capital back inside the 10-yard line.
At the 9.
Whereas they were past midfield, so they've got a long field here to work. Looks like Alec Weber, number 11. Is he going to line up at quarterback now?
Yeah, so it looks like the Capital Eagles have gone with a quarterback change of their own. It looks like Alec Weber is back at the helm, and the Capital puts the ball in motion, and Weber takes it up the middle. So with 6:55 to go, the Capital Eagles leading 48-6.
Number 11, Alec Weber in the quarterback.
I imagine with last game of the year, playoffs looming, Capital will start to rotate some players in as well. And that goes up the middle. Is that Jonesy?
Believe so.
Can't quite tell.
Yeah, I think since Sam's been back, Sam's taken a little bit of the reps from Jones. They've definitely sneak him in there for a little bit. He does a great job finding those little holes among the old linemen in those zone read situations. Probably won't be too much longer till we see the little bit bigger back, sophomore Sean Holstein getting some reps.
But in the meantime, here we go. Capital hands it off. It comes around the outside. That's Hawley.
Whoop.
Hawley with the little spin move and falls to a first down at about the 22-yard line. So the Capital Eagles move the chains. 5:56 to go in the third quarter, leading the Boise Braves 48-6. The Eagle offense looking to the sideline. Coach Simmons calling the play in. The Boise Braves lining up on defense.
Yeah, I think we got a couple guys in here that don't rep a lot. They're trying to get them lined up, making sure routes are working. Looked like a little wheel route down the sideline. Nice pass, just incomplete.
Great pass, and broken up. And I think that's broken up by number 33. That's Zeke Gilbert. Zeke Gilbert for the Braves, the same kid that caught the touchdown. Zeke Gilbert flies over and busts up the pass intended for number 2, Michael Hawley. So Alec Weber's pass, it was on the money, but Zeke Gilbert makes a great play on that. So 2nd down and 10. The Capital Eagles back to the ground, and that's number 8 for the Capital Eagles.
Alex Rivas.
Alex Rivas.
Yeah, I don't get to call his name very often.
Not on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking at my roster quite a bit here as we finish out this game tonight.
So if we're a little bit slow on calling the names, it's because both teams are starting to rotate some players in. So might be a little bit slower than normal calling in some plays, or at least calling in some names. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Capital Eagles on their own 45. Weber out to the flats. Better get on that. Better get on that. 2. The Boise Brave corner made a great play on playing it till the whistle blew, because that pass could have been behind the line of scrimmage. So 5:10 to go. 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10. And here's Hawley with the sweep to the outside, and he gets dragged down quickly. That play went nowhere. And that is number 60 or 68. Let's take a quick look here for the Boise Braves. I'm going to guess 68. That's Alex Ojoku.
You know, they actually threw a flag. Umpire threw the flag on this. I know it looked like it maybe, but I think this was the inappropriate call. He called a horse collar tackle. Usually you see that when a guy grabs him from behind. That is an illegal tackle. Really kind of accident situation most of the time, but it's prevalent to injury when you do a horse collar tackle. But I really don't think that was that correct call in that situation. He came at him from the side. Yeah, he grabbed Jersey. Yeah, he dragged him down, but
I didn't know. That's a great point. I didn't know that you could actually horse collar from the front even.
You can't. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that was the right call. I mean, but, you know, I've lost a lot of years off my life trying to understand referees sometimes in the game. And fortunate for Capital, that's for sure. But I think we got a false start in that situation. Now here we are backing it up in the wrong direction. 1st and 15. Just under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Capital up 48-6.
It's 1st down and 15 from the 49-yard line. And that's Weber out to number 80 for the Capital Eagles. Number 80, that is Isaiah Schilling.
Yep. Yeah.
So Isaiah Schilling with the reception. Weber to Schilling.
Hopefully some high percentage completions there. They're just kind of picking on the soft corners. Little quick pop pass out to the flanker, trying to see what he can do after he catches the ball. Trips up top, see if we run or we're going to roll out a little bit to the right. Looks like a run up the middle to Jones.
And Jones, great run, but he's going to be short. The Boise Braves wrap him up and hold. So we're looking at, I don't think it's 4th down. I think it'll be 3rd down and short. Could be wrong on that. I'm looking at the markers, looking at the clock. It's 3rd down and 3. So the Boise Braves with an opportunity to stop the Capital Eagles on their own 40-yard line. With an adjustment, maybe a jump by Capital.
Yeah, it's either going to be the guy cross the neutral zone and cause the offensive lineman to jump. Looks like they're actually giving it a penalty to Boise Braves. So they said that D lineman jumped the gun a little bit. That unfortunately, though, gives Capital the 1st down when you do that.
So Capital takes the 1st down. Alec Weber up the middle. A gain of about 7-yard line, maybe 8.
I would have guessed that that's what they were going to run when it was 3rd and short anyway. Maybe a motion with a little fly sweep option for the quarterback to run up the middle that Hibbs has been so good at. And Alex Weber, really athletic guy. From what I never personally had him in class, but I think he's a top scholar kind of student. So
National merit.
I think that's where I've seen him.
He's on the National Merit Board.
Yeah, he's got his picture up on the wall, and I think I was just putting that together. He's a top-notch student. That's definitely who you want at quarterback, being that he might be that next guy up after Hibbs maybe moves on.
And don't get me wrong, Hibbs is a brain himself. Well, and you want that from all your quarterbacks, you know, having to call. I mean, quarterback, second best athlete on the field behind tight ends. So you want, I guess, your best athlete at tight end and your smartest athlete at quarterback.
Yeah, I was just going to follow up by saying we can talk about what a great athlete tight ends are, but probably not the brightest.
That is obvious.
I don't know.
That is obvious. Looking at the booth across the way, great athletes.
I'm looking at both of you guys next to me. Maybe I'm not speaking for you guys, but definitely want that QB being that brain.
There's no doubt about it. So the Capital Eagles up the middle. Alec Weber, shoelace tackle. Great save by number 57 for the Boise Braves, and that's Mac Barrett with the save of the touchdown. And I think Alec Weber's a senior, though.
Is he?
Yeah, I think that's why he's on the National Merit Board. I think only the seniors make it up on that board. So I'm guessing
it's based off their scores from last year, then, huh?
Oh yes,
oh,
yes.
Boy. You forgot the ball, buddy.
Yeah.
Dang it.
And that looks like a fumble by the Capital Eagles. Somewhere in the exchange between Gabe Bacon and Alex Weber, the ball gets dropped.
Yeah, I mean, he thought he tried to rip that ball back away from him, so he had no idea that ball was even on the ground.
Boy, when they look at the video, neither one knew that the ball was on the ground because they both dropped it and just kept running.
That's not good. Well, looks like Joey Q is getting a little rep here at the end. He's not done for the night.
I bet he's done in about 1:52.
Well, we'll see if
1:52 left in the third.
Maybe he can pad his stats a little bit here and get off the ball.
In fact, there's only 3 Black Cats left out on the field as Capital is rotated in on defense. The Boise Braves, they go to the ground with a nice run up the middle, a gain of about 4, maybe a little bit less.
Gain of 3 yards, 2nd and 7 for Boise.
Yeah, say Joey Q's last name for me 3 times fast.
Kittigwa, and Kittigwa.
Man, that's good. That's impressive.
I practiced it all week. About a month ago, I practiced it.
I just gave up. I'm still Joey Q.
I even pulled him aside and asked him.
Confirmation. Am I saying this right?
Yeah, Kittigwa.
I bet you he was proud of you.
He was. He was like, actually, that's pretty darn close.
Oh boy.
And the Boise Braves with a big run right up the sideline on the near side, and that's number 39. That's Charlie Griggs, senior running back. So Charlie Griggs with a big run up the near sideline, and here come the Boise Braves threatening again. Still on their own side of the field, but a big first down with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Capital defense sliding in, a little bit of pressure. Here it comes up the middle. And they'd run another little fade pass out to the sideline. And that goes to number 5, Hudson Hamilton. Hudson Hamilton wasn't on my radar from the statistics that I looked at, but he has had a pretty great game today. He has caught a number of passes up the sideline. And the quarterback transition there from Charlie Bonning to number 8, Hank Strand. Hank Strand throws a nice ball up the sideline, admittedly. So with 43 seconds left to go, the Boise Braves threatening again. The Capital Eagles bending, hoping not to break. Here we go, and back up the middle, and it's a big hole, and the Capital defense stops him, but not until there was about a gain of 6 by the Boise Braves.
Yeah, 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. We're probably going to get one more playoff here, depending if it is a run or a pass. Let's see if we can get maybe a sack here to stretch this out to 3rd and long.
So 13 seconds,
Yeah,
clock ticking.
Yeah, they got trips into the boundary here. Trying to run into those blockers over there. Capital stuffs them, though.
And that's Charlie. We talk about Joey Kittigwa, where we couldn't say his name. I couldn't figure out how to say Hastrider.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments over that, making sure we don't screw that up, and I love shouting out to Charlie.
So Charlie Hastrider slides in and gets a tackle, and that's going to end the third quarter.
The quarterback is named
Hank Strand. Hey, excellent. So some of the Boise Brave fans came to help us pronunciate some names. So they're giving a shout out to Hank Strand. And what's your guys' name? Bella and Hudson Strand. So fan favorites of Hank Strand came to help clarify the name. So brother and sister here to give a little shout out. Thank you guys for sliding in and helping us clarify that. So some Hank Strand fans come up to the booth to give us a little first fans of the night from the Boise sideline. So 12 minutes to go, fourth quarter. The Boise Braves threatening. Going to social media.
Uh-oh. You sure you want to look?
I am. I just got a message here that says Athletic Director Steve Sosnowski did hear us and not amused. That comes from Coach Hoffman, the head volleyball coach.
Not amused about what?
Well, you were probably in the clear. I am not, though. Little pop shot at his
At the big man?
at the big man's athleticism.
Yeah, I backed off.
Make no mistake.
I tell you, there's one thing I do when I walk up to Saws. I just wait for him to say something first, and if it's something nice, I'll join in the conversation. And if he's in a bad mood, I just turn around and walk away.
Well, I'll tell you what. I say the athleticism of Steve Sosnowski, I say it jokingly. A UCLA stud, a Boise State stud, and I believe Kansas City Chief. I believe he was a Kansas City
Can't
Chief.
confirm that.
So I've got 11 minutes, 59 seconds in the fourth quarter to try to make up to my athletic director before I get called into the office.
It's not your first time.
I was hoping, since my basketball retirement, that it would have been my last. So,
Yeah. Indeed.
but a shout out to Coach Hoffman for giving me the heads up warning. 11:59 to go. The Capital Eagles leading 48-6.
You know, I had this down before for some pregame talk. Maybe it's one of those chances before we get started on the fourth quarter. But, you know, Simmons started his career, I believe, first year was at East Junior High, but then his second, and for a long time was part of the Boise High coaching staff, and eventually became the head coach at Boise High. So I think I remember my experiences with Coach Simmons on the sideline. You know, he was puckered up a little bit playing these guys, being that he was such a big part of the program.
And Hank Strand with another lob up to the sideline had a man, and it gets dropped. I believe he was aiming for Hudson Hamilton one more time. If it worked once, why not let it work again? So Hank Strand takes a shot to Hudson Hamilton. It's incomplete. Clock running, 11:30 to go. The Boise Braves threatening, backing the Capital Eagles up into their own territory. Fourth down, looking at about 12 yards from the 28-yard line. We'll see what play gets drawn up. The Braves working out the details. The Capital Eagles scrambling around to find the right position.
Yeah, he needs to get up on the line of scrimmage.
And here we go. He drops back. He looks, lobs it up. He's got a man.
Pick
And
it. That's intercepted.
it did. He got intercepted in
Jackson
the
Beers.
end zone. And who
Jackson
is that?
Beers. Jackson Beers.
Jackson Beers.
Getting some reps on D at corner. Good for him. He kind of got beat on that last long throw down the sideline. He didn't get his head around. I didn't think he had a step on him. Didn't get around, though, and the receiver made the catch. And then here he is in the hip pocket, in perfect position, ready to go get the ball up at the high point. Made a great play. Being a wide receiver, you know, maybe he increased his chances with that interception sometimes, because sometimes DBs get a bad rap for receivers that can't catch. So here we are.
Linebackers are tight ends who can't catch. DBs are receivers who can't catch. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
D lineman, like the great Steve Sosnowski, athletic director for Capital High School. So the Capital Eagles take over on the interception at the 20. They march it out with a gain of 5 up the middle. That looks like number 20, Jonesy, with the carry.
Gain of about 7 yards. Tackle made by number 68, Alex Ojukwu.
2nd and 5, maybe a little bit shorter. 2nd and 4, looking by the mark. 9:38 to go. And Capital goes up the middle again. And it's going to be short. From the mark, it's 3rd and 1. So the great opportunity for the Boise Braves to try to get a stop here and get the ball back with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and try to find a little momentum in that.
QB Reed calling it right now.
QB Reed,
Yeah,
Alec
he goes.
Weber, and he shows some nimble moves, and he breaks it. He breaks it. Does he have the speed to go?
We got to keep that ball high and tight. Look
He
at
does.
that. Look at that.
He does. Touchdown, Capital. And that is a great run, a 71-yard run by Alec Weber.
For the touchdown for Capital.
QB lead. That's just kind of the go-to in short distances. Get an extra blocker in front of you. Get body on body. And this time, though, he found some space to break a tackle and run 70 yards.
Well, he had the first down. He only needed 3 yards to get the first down. The Boise Braves swarmed. He breaks a couple of tackles, a nifty spin move, and then bam, up the sideline, and he outruns the Boise Braves in pursuit and gets to the end zone. So a late touchdown for the Capital Eagles, fourth quarter, and with the extra point,
Oh, it's still good.
it was ugly. It
think-
was an ugly extra point, but it went through. And so the Capital Eagles, 55 points with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter over inner city rival, the Boise Braves. What about an update on the Boise score? Do we have an update there?
27-14. Rocky ahead. Looks like it's the fourth quarter. Similar to us, they're probably a few minutes ahead of us. It was a pretty tight game there. It was 14-7, Rocky ahead. Then it was 21-14. Looks like Rocky's up 27-14 now. So they're taking care of business there to finish out that game.
Well, it's that point of year, too, where, you know, the Rocky Mountain, undefeated, sitting number 1, first round bye. Maybe, you know, game plan, let's simplify it and keep it simple, not to give anything away
Definitely.
But then again, the Boer Lions maybe showing some fight and giving them a little bit more game than what the Rocky Mountain Grizz expected. And so it is a little bit closer than I think a lot of people would have expected.
I'm dying to know maybe some highlights on the game tonight with Rocky and Bora if quarterback Stanley was back or not. He's been out, and so did they go back to the air raid, or do they just run the ball again with Magnuson? Maybe they're saving him for us next week. Who knows?
Magnuson, stellar receiver for the Boer Lions, was moved to quarterback. So maybe they're running, taking a page out of the Eagle game plan of handing the ball to Ford. So the Capital Eagles kick off. It gets bobbled up at the 5-yard line by the Boise Braves, but he picks it up and he makes a pretty good run of about an extra 16, 17 yards. So the Braves will take over at about the 21-yard line. The Capital Eagles, it looks like there are no black cats out there. So with a complete rotation on defense, some of the younger guys. I see Jonesy out there roaming the field as a running back, or running back on offense, but playing a little bit of defense now. Prepping for next year, perhaps.
You sure?
I believe he's on the far side.
All right, cool.
I could be wrong, though. Let me take a pick.
34 or 27?
Yeah, 27 negative.
Yeah.
That is not Jonesy. That is John Brookins.
Yeah,
so John Brookins into the game.
Mm-hmm. Just make sure we get a shout out to him. He deserves it.
Let's see who we got out here. We've got number 12. That's Bob Hong. Bob Hong out there at the corner for the Capital Eagles. Back here at safety, Indiana Keller.
Yeah.
And also at safety back here, number 25. That's Logan Early.
Yeah, Logan.
So they're Boise Braves sitting at 2nd and 8. Capital D lining up, figuring out where they're at. Hank Strand back. Quick toss out to the man. Has a man. Breaks a tag. One tackle. Gets swallowed up by the second.
That was one of the Leaf boys on the tackle on that one.
Yeah.
Looks like Jackson Beers was right there with him over there at corner still.
On the inside, guys in for the Capital Eagles. Number 75, Moses Estrada. Number 52, Isaiah Estrada. Are they brothers, Coach? They are brothers with a nod. So 2 brothers, one a junior, one a senior. We also have number 43, giving a little shout out to Michael Quinney. We've called his name a time or two this season, but he's out there right now.
Yeah.
Number 28, out there on the, looks like maybe outside linebacker. That's Yusuf Al-Sayed. Or Said. You know what, Yusuf? I'm going to have to go out on a limb and put you guys in the category of Charlie Hastrider. I don't have your name down today, but I'll get it next week for you, buddy. And I can't see to the far side who our far corner is, but Capital Eagles have got some guys in playing. And again, they're young as well.
Yeah, a little hold up here with the officials. Not sure what it was about.
With 7:15 to go, it's 3rd and 7 for the Braves on their own 26-yard line. Low snap. And low snap causes troubles, and it goes for a sack. That's number 34. We have not called his name, Corbin Gerard.
Yeah.
So Corbin Gerard chalks up his sack, a senior.
Yeah, he came in hot, right off the edge. Nice
So
little stunt there with the linebacker. Come around and chased him down from the backside. Gotta love it.
So the low snap puts the Boise Braves in a bind, and he goes down with the sack, and they will punt it away. So it's 4th and 18, 6 minutes to go as the Braves backed up to the goal line, looking to punt it away. It doesn't look like the Capital Eagles are sending anybody. Here we go, and it's a clean punt, and it's away. And it looks like it's a Peter call, which was close. It was close. That almost hit Jackson Beers' helmet as he was running back to provide a block. So, 6 minutes to go. And it is the Capital Eagles 55, the Boise Braves 6.
Just got a score update here. Bora just scored again. 27-21. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
10 minutes to go in the Bora Rocky game. And the Bora Lions put another touchdown on. I don't normally care to broadcast about the Lions, but here they come. And it has absolute implications for the Capital Eagles and the rest of the state for that matter, as far as who plays who in the state playoffs. So the Capital Eagles taking over after a nice punt by the Boise Braves. They take over at the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 10. Looks like a gain of 1. Gain of run by number 20, Sean Holstein. So Sean Holstein.
QB.
Oh, and look at this. Speaking of Boise Brave coaches, as you mentioned earlier, longtime Boise Brave coach, Coach Simmons, came over to Capital, finds his way here. He was replaced.
Oh, he's not down. Go! I don't think he was.
The white hat from the backside said he is.
I don't think he was down. Oh, dang it.
So, Coach Simmons, he leaves Boise High. He leaves Boise High and he comes to Capital. He is replaced by Coach Bobby Clark. So Bobby Clark, he coached at Boise for a number of years as well. And now this year, Bobby Clark, and last year I believe, is over at Capital helping Coach Simmons coach as well. And I only bring this up because number 15 for the Capital Eagles, running the quarterback, is his son, Max Clark. A freshman quarterback, 5'8", 145-pound freshman quarterback, comes in for that series to take over for the Boise Braves. Or excuse me, for the Capital Eagles. So it's great to see Max Clark out there. Not only as a freshman, but early, maybe even the first game of the year, he went down with a collarbone injury that ended his season in the very first game of the year. So the simple fact...
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the simple fact that he's back out there getting a few plays, I don't think Capitals and Boise's JV teams played. I know it might have been a numbers issue for the Boise Braves, but I don't think they played the game at all. But you're really seeing some younger players.
Yeah, freshmen in a varsity game in football is almost unheard of.
Well, I believe, I don't know this for 100% sure, but I believe that Bob Clark was a collegiate football player himself. And I know that Bob Clark's wife, Tammy Steinbrenner, was a track legend at Meridian High School and a collegiate trackster. So I'm guessing that genetically, Max Clark probably has a little bit of athleticism between the two of them as well. So it's great to see that he's, the collarbone issues behind him and he's back out there.
Right on.
So the Boise Braves, here they go, threatening again in Capital territory at the 35-yard line, rolling out. That was Strand, and he's got it. He's got a man. That's number 33. That's Zeke Gilbert again.
No, it doesn't matter at this point in the game sometimes, but that was an illegal procedure. Wide receiver wasn't up on a line of scrimmage. But they're going to let that one go probably.
Well, going back to social media, it's not Coach Hoffman this time. It's Coach Sosnowski. And he's saying it's too late.
It's too late?
That sounds like I'm headed to the office tomorrow. The Boise Braves up the middle.
Oh.
And pretty solid run by the Boise Braves to look at a 4th and short.
Really short. They put him down a little bit short. He tried to reach out there for that first down close to that 25-yard line.
Well, it's not too late, Coach Sosnowski. I've got a minute 30 to go in the 4th quarter. 55-6 Capital. The Bora Lions have put another score on the board. So
No, they didn't score yet. Don't get people too excited.
I thought it was 21 to.
Yeah, Rocky punted though. So
what's the score?
it's 27-21.
27-21.
Rocky's
so yes.
still up. 9 minutes left in the game. But I mean, Boris scored. Rocky got the ball and maybe 3 and out. Not much time had gone off the clock. And Boris got the ball now and maybe looking to put some points and tie up that game. So I don't mean to be distracted right now, but that is a big deal when it comes to the playoff seedings.
Well, Rocky, they're locked in.
Yeah,
they're locked in at the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So a loss wouldn't do them any harm.
Gosh,
And a nice toss by the Boise Braves, and it marches them up to the 1. So Hank Strand moves the ball again, lobs it over the top. I can't see the number.
12.
Number 12. Number 12 for the Boise Braves. So Charlie Walther with the connect, and he gets down to the 2-yard line. So with 25 seconds left to go, the Boise Braves threatening to put more points on the board in the last remaining minutes of the game, seconds of the game even. Oh, flag on the play. A little quick slant. We'll see what the play call is. Oh, incomplete. Ref on the far sideline said it's no good. There is still a yellow flag down, and there's still 6 seconds left to go. Incomplete.
This is an illegal procedure. Oh, what? He picked it up or what?
Well, I'm not sure.
He threw a
First
flag.
off, it was an incomplete pass, so it was 6 seconds left to go. The
sideline judge threw the flag. Yeah, so he is calling it.
Yeah, so.
He finally listened to me because that receiver wasn't getting up on the line of scrimmage.
And because it was an offensive penalty, does the clock run out, or is that they just calling the timeout? They're gonna.
I think they called the timeout to stop it from running it off.
So the Stripes will have to put a few seconds back onto the clock. The Boise Braves will have one more chance with no time remaining. They'll have one more chance to put some points on the board for this season. At the same time, the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies have punted away, and
just
the
so you know,
Bora Lions down by 1 score could take the lead.
Yeah, and just to say this, I mean, look at the coaches out on the field right now. I mean, we got guys that are super young, they're sophomores, maybe even a freshman out there on the field right now. The coaches are coaching their butts off right now. This is a huge game right now for these young players to get this stop to end the game. I'm excited to watch this play right now. I hope that we hold them. This is a huge win.
So 6 seconds they put on the
Throw
clock.
it,
And
get
Strand,
it, get it. Nice job. All right.
And
that's awesome. Great job by the Capital defense. You don't want that bitter taste in your mouth to end the game. I'm seeing coaches running out there high-fiving players. That's a great way to finish this game.
And so that is a wrap. It's the end of the season. And the Capital Eagles put a punctuation mark on their 2008 season with a 55-6 win against inner-city rival the Boise Braves, which I believe puts Capital Eagles at 49-1 in the last 17 years. And it's been longer for the Boise Braves.
Yeah.
I know 17 years ago that the Timberline got them. A few years back, that one is the Boar Lions, but I think it's been since when?
1988.
88.
That's the last time Boise won. A lot of close ones. A lot of close ones.
A 2-point conversion that the Boise Braves went for the win. Under Bobby Clark, if I remember right. They went for the win. They had Capital. They scored with the few seconds left. They scored, and the Capital Eagles were ahead by 1 point, and the Boise Braves went for it, I think, for 2. And so they've had a lot of close ones, but tonight was not one of them. So the Capital Eagles finished the season at 6-3. They will have for sure, well, I can't say that. I can't say for sure that they've locked up any position besides a playoff spot. So it'll come down to the Boise High Lions battling right now the Rocky Mountain Grizz.
Yeah, I'm going to be paying attention to that score here as we finish out tonight.
And at the same time, the one game that's remaining left, it would be tomorrow that has playoff implications for Capital. That would be Eagle and Centennial.
Yeah.
If Centennial beats Eagle, then Capital is for sure locked into the 3rd or 4th position. In this particular scenario, I think to be on the opposite side of number 1 and number 2 in the state, number 4 wouldn't be a bad spot.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Coeur d'Alene.
But at the same time, I think with a Bora comeback win, that would bump them. Well, no, they'd be tied, and Capital would have the tiebreaker there. And so they would end up playing the winner of Meridian and Skyview, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Blas Teleria with Jason Gordon. We're happy to have called the game. Can't promise that we'll be calling the next one next week, but we're here with you tonight. Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I appreciate doing it with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully it's not our last one, but if it is, well, there's always next year. So,
all right.
Thank you for tuning in to KCHS. We'll catch you at the next game.
Good night, Capital.